I think I can count probably on one hand the number of fifth wheels that are this short with a full bed slide and full closet with stackable washer dryer prep. Welcome everybody, Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV here. Special thank you to the returning members of the RV Nerd Herd. Behind us back here, this RV came out about 2 years ago. Knocked my freaking socks off for just being willing to do it a little different. Not even like completely reinventing the wheel, but just finally someone willing to say, what if we just didn't make the exact same thing we've always made ever? This is the 260 MLE, yeah, you know me, Cougar, and it's a rock star. It's like, what, 31 foot, I think, tip to tail, with a living room slide, dedicated like theater seat or sleeper sofa, tons of counter space. The counter space in this is silly good. Huge amount of cargo space in this thing. A slide open dining desk, and finally somebody with a drop down TV mechanism. Why this is so rare, I don't know, but I hope Cougar applies this to more of their models. The thing is, the upstairs of this is very much like any other big cat Cougar fifth wheel you might encounter, where it has a full east-west bed slide, queen or optional king bed, massive front closet that is also washer dryer prepped, even capable of accepting a stackable unit. The number of fifth wheels that can do that are only about 31 foot tip to tail, very small, very, very small. Now, it's also 0 to 110 degree rated, tested, proven weather package. Big front pass-through storage compartment as well. Excellent pin box, suspension, braking, tires combination on this. TPMS prepped as well. This is also, because of its small size but high feature set, a really nice pairing if you want to do some recreational doubles towing and throw a little trailer behind that. And since this is a big cat, a full Cougar, you do have the ability to get this in the Hero Edition matte green paint package or the Midnight Edition Phantom Gray or Onyx Black paint package. But this new look, also very sharp with the new high gloss glass. And I think one of the ways to describe this camper is like small but mighty. What they did here is they gave it the full-size big Cougar upper deck, the full bedroom, full bathroom. They found a way to overlap and dual purpose and hide away some things downstairs, which allowed them to shrink the length of the lower deck without potentially removing and diminishing any of the features. Now, the dining arrangement is hands down going to be the most, I guess we'll say, controversial thing. I don't know what else to say other than just like, it'll be the most love it or hate it part of this camper. Like over here, the decor. They've changed the decor this year. It's obviously HOA approved, and but overall still feels light and bright in here. Like the dark wood tones that we're looking at don't actually read that dark in person. See this thing in person if you get a chance. The sofa is my nerd preferred style with the folding kind of armrest. I'll give you a better look at that later. You also have blackout roller shades all the way through, and starting last year, the big cat full Cougar fifth wheels that we're looking at all adopted rack and pinion slides. This year, the small little kitty Cougar fifth wheels did the same. Currently, all Cougar fifth wheels are now rack and pinion slide systems. And being a big cat Cougar, you get bigger features. Larger microwave, larger oven, larger refrigerator, 16 cubic foot instead of 10, for instance. So you're getting more stuff here. In the kitchen area, in the kitchen living, we are also getting solid surface countertops. And I say dude only because I don't know your names individually. Dude, there's a lot of counter space. And notice those easy reach pop-up power towers, so you don't have to dangle appliance cord power outlets to overhead outlets under a cabinet that, generally speaking, most people don't like. There might be somebody who's like, I don't know, mine work just fine. Okay, cool, no big deal. But a lot of people don't like those. The total amount of storage and cabinetry space in this RV is crazy good. Up top, we have the rain sensing XL Max Air vent fan. You'll also find the here in the living room, it's a direct dump 18,000 BTU Furrion Chill Cube air. These have become very popular for their power, the low noise once they hit cruising altitude, and the lower what was I going to say? No, I was going to say lower power. I already told you power. Basically, it has a soft start, which is kind of cool. And if you're just on normal 15 amp power extension cord service, you can still run that air conditioner pretty effectively, which is cool without burning it out. Some air conditioners are not as friendly that way. Now, right here we have, I'm shooting from the hip, I think about a 50-inch smart TV. It is downward angled, which is nice. And when you're sitting in the theater seating like I am, and especially if you're reclined, that feels fine. But this right here is your natural organic viewing level. So why more RV manufacturers, including Cougar, don't do this? Why more builders don't include a drop-down TV mechanism like this? I suspect it is exclusively price related. But that, to me, fixes a lot of the potential entertainment concerns. Now, down below here, we, of course, have our electric space heat and Tootsie Toaster, our Phalanges fryer, little clutter cutter shoe garage, little flip-flop shop down there below. Obviously, I have my own stupid names for everything. I've been doing this for over 16 years, and I just start coming up with silly names because I listened to a lot of Weird Al Yankovic growing up, and I got to keep myself entertained because I have a child's brain. Entry door does include a privacy shade, and Cougar is literally the reason, from listening to your feedback, they open from the bottom up. Now, across the industry, because those shades come from one supplier, supplier said, okay, they'll open from the bottom up or the top down. We're not doing both. Pick one. Cougar said, well, people like it from the bottom up. Supplier said, fine. So now everybody gets that, which is cool, I think. Now, as we spin our way around over here, you see that little, I'm going to call that the coffee bar. Easy reach outlets. It's also where our ceiling fan control is located. I wanted to have that on because it's hot today and I wanted to get some airflow, but it kind of makes a simulated light flicker. And a lot of people I know, including Garrett, who edits these videos, is flicker sensitive. And I didn't feel like causing anyone medical problems today just to do a stupid camper video. So yeah, I didn't do that. Now, over here, only does a little bit of stuff. Starts with your dual wall hugging recliners on the sides. It is a manual ripcord recliner, but integrated into that folding armrest, giving you either cuddle compliance or population control separation. Couple cup holders, some USB plugs, some more USB plugs, pop-up household outlets, as well as your controls for your heat and massage functions. Now, sneakily hidden over here in the corner between the window treatments are your household and your USB plugs. But basically from the factory, the household plugs are pretty much eaten up. Then again, when you have household plugs readily available here, I don't know that it matters. Now, in a couple areas in the RV, in the bedroom, in the slide out, and then for the main cabin, you have these new style of dimmer switches here that allow you to more easily control and understand how much light is in the RV currently. I can't remember, but I don't know if that fuse box is going to be blocked or not when the slide closes. We will circle back and double check on that when we verify in road mode. Hopefully I don't forget. I got a bad habit of that. I do like the lighting in the cabinet. I've noticed a lot of Keystones have become good at lighting stuff up in cabinets. Now, just to give you another look, once again, you know, if I'm standing up, you see that this TV drops down pretty significantly. And where that can be really handy is if you deploy the little dining desk. Because when you are sitting way closer to the television like this, if that TV didn't drop down, you would get that old school 1980s Nintendo neck trying to, the Sega sciatica, if it were, trying to be able to view this thing. Now, the thing is, because it drops right down, it makes for easy viewing, but as a regular RV nerd viewer, Mr. Aaron Thor, shout out to you, Aaron. Thank you for all your years of watching and very reasonable, grounded comments and humor. Love your humor. He's always looking for desk space in an RV. If you notice, when this drops down, it reveals some household and some USB plugs. Plus, we have a lot of space here for a multi-monitor setup. But when this TV drops down, if you wanted to, slap an HDMI plug on the TV and turn that into an additional monitor. Or it's wide open prep space. Or you could leave the table deployed, have a multi-monitor set up below while somebody can still enjoy the entertainment from the theater seat. There's no one specific way you have to or can use this. And again, there's crazy amount of like cabinet storage in this. It's going to take me several waves and passes to showcase all of this right here. One of the things, let's call a spade, a duck a duck. Brinkley wasn't the first. Actually, Outback used to do this a lot, but Brinkley made it very cool and popular, having this whole interaction right here. And in case you're ever curious, like, what is this? This is where you put paper towels, or you set it like that, and if you get a neighbor, you don't want to stay too long, you tell them that that's where they get to sit. Moving on from there, this hides away. We have ourselves, it can either be double trash, or it could be like garbage and recycling, just, I don't know, depending on whatever you want to do with it. And I've noticed a lot of Cougar models like this, they don't have a ton of drawers, but I think they have enough. I feel like that's okay. I also appreciate this corner cabinet, how they put it on a bit of a 45 and gave it its own door. Makes it a little bit easier to get back there. Now, it's very deep in the back. You might want to put like a little rotating Lazy Susan or something in that to be able to get to all of that storage space. And I appreciate Cougar's become very good at making overhead cabinet doors defy gravity, so you don't have to juggle stuff open with your balding scalp. But that might be more of my personal journey. And I'm not going to try it again this year because I think I've put on more weight. But to give you an idea of how much space is in here, last year, on a whim, I literally was able to shove myself into that huge cavity under the farm sink. If you're looking for a laugh, like, no, he didn't really. No, I really did. Take a look at my video of this last year, and you'll see that I did manage to squish myself in there. And again, being a full big cat Cougar, we get the bigger fridge as compared to the little kitties. Now, quick note for you here, in a big cat Cougar, they have a little bit taller sidewalls a little bit further through the RV. So I'm a little bit over 6 foot, and even though they slid the refrigerator back to make the whole RV feel bigger and open, I think my shoulder activated that touchpad. I can stand in this slide, never knock myself out, cause myself a concussion. I've literally busted my forehead open on a few RV videos in the past. Won't have that happen here. Thanks, Cougar. And you can also see blackout roller shades wherever they are available. There might be some instances around the kitchen where you'll revert back to metallic mini blinds. That's a fire code thing. Basically something too close to a flammable source, that's what they gotta do. Full privacy shade in the entry. Oh, we talked about that, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, moving upstairs. Moving on up. Here we are. At a glance, it looks like just a mirror on the wall. But take a look at the left side of the screen. They actually do have storage there. It's kind of like a hidden built-in, where it's a mirror built into the hollow wall between the bedroom and bathroom. Working our way down here, great drawer space. You can see on the left-hand side some good drawer space there. And then another spot for like a decent wastebasket even in the bathroom. And I know I talk about that a lot, but I'm willing to bet everybody watching this has a trash can in their kitchen, probably has a trash can in their bathroom. Why don't more RVs have those things? I don't know. Porcelain foot flush stool that is fairly fluffy friendly. And as we work our way up here, this linen cabinet actually doesn't go quite all the way to the wall, which means you can't lose stuff in Never Land and have to retrieve it by taking the second star on the right and going straight on till morning. Now, the shower space here, as you see on the left, very friendly to a person of my size. I'm representing, with my shoes on, about 6'2", from shoe bottom to scalp top, since I don't really have hair to speak of, as you can see. Although I do tell you, I save a ton on shampoos and conditioners as a result. The Oxygenic shower head is another newer addition over the last year or two from the Cougar family. And that little, actually pretty decent boxy step space over there on the left side. Great if you need to like throw your leg up on something to shave your shins. I don't personally, but Uncle Gary does partake, so I'll take his word for it. Moving forward, again, we do have that dimmable lighting here in the bedroom in case that laundry's needing some aggressive folding, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, you get the idea. Above the bed here, I like how they're just kind of dressing up the headboard wall. Just that, oh, you know what you could do? You could come up with a kind of adhesive-based tic-tac-toe situation here by looking at this. I mean, that's got to be worth a couple $1,000 right there, right? cross breeze windows. I'm not going to call those CPAP shelves above the bed because they ain't. My understanding is you shouldn't generally have a CPAP machine above your head, but they do work very nicely for phones. And there's also household outlets right up next to those things. By default, this RV would have a queen bed with side stands built right into that slide box. You sacrifice the side stands if you go with the optional 70 by 80 king that we see here today. Now, if you want to go back to a queen, if one's in stock with a king, the bed box down here is queen size. That's also a rack and pinion queen bed slide, which Rockwood really never kind of quit doing, but a lot of manufacturers quit doing. And I think a lot of people are going to be happy to see it's a heavier, it's a more expensive system. But I think a lot of people with a lot of camping experience will probably agree when I say it's generally going to be considered the most reliable. Now, this thing up here also has some, open up, come on, magnets. Wow, those are really grabbing. Legend of Zelda contraband storage down here, just in case you are so inclined. Then, up here on the front wall, oh, nope, hold on. Before I forget, I almost glossed over this. Yeah, we do have TV hookups, and it is prepped to throw a TV on that wall there if you're so inclined. But if I don't mention that, someone's gonna be like, what, it doesn't even have TV hookups in the bedroom? No, it definitely does. I just almost missed it. Up front here, if you want to remove these shelves, actually, if you don't remove the shelves, it's all set for a combo washer dryer. If you do remove the shelves, it's all set for a stackable washer dryer. I had to use one of those little dining chairs to hold this door open. It kept wanting to swing low, sweet chariot on us. I like how the hanging bar in the front closet actually is a lightsaber, effectively. But thankfully, the beam is on the bottom, so it won't chop your clothes apart. Instead, it'll just help you see what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be fancy. Just a spot to put a wastebasket is such a underrated and super handy feature. Again, it's just like having a trash can in the kitchen. RVs just need to do it. Now, those fold-away chairs, actually, depending on what you're doing with it, you could store them in that front closet, or you could store them under the bed, but we're actually going to get to see their intended storage location in just a minute. From the hallway here, you can get up to the bedroom, although with this being a rack and pinion bed slide, I don't think it's recommended that you occupy it in transit. I don't have Keystone's stance on that, but I don't know of a rack and pinion slide where they're really like, yeah, hey, go nuts, man. But bathroom, readily available. That right there, behind the fireplace, is actually the sneaky, surprisingly big storage location where those chairs are intended to store. There's leftover room even if you put the chairs in here. You know, I left one in for a size reference, but you know what? That could also, I don't think it would hold like a bag of golf clubs, but it might hold a couple loose golf clubs or a baseball bat to defend yourself from a gas station murder hobo what come a visit you in the middle of the night. But hey, when this closes up though, since we don't have opposing slides, we don't have an island, we maintain easy travel access. You'll lose out on the microwave, you'll lose out on the oven, you'll maintain that big fridge, the sink, the counter space, and depending on how you use it, you can probably still deploy the little tiny dining table here and then sit on either side of it. It is a rack and pinion slide, so if for some reason you need to open it partially, you could. I don't know why you would need to do that in this floor plan. I don't even know why I mentioned it. Oh well, whatever. There you go. Now, inevitably, there's someone who sees the smaller size aspect of this and thinks, can my half-ton tow this? I don't want half-tons paired up with this fifth wheel. Personally, I don't think that they really belong paired up with something like this. But I think a 3/4 ton, like a gas 3/4, which will, the funny thing people don't realize, unless you need the hard pulling power of a diesel, the extra payload capacity you get on a gas pickup is awesome, especially for something like this. But, you know, if you're going to go through the crazy mountain towing or you got a big giant mega fifth wheel toy hauler, there's just nothing that has the power of diesel. So, you know, there's that. But anyway, what do you think of the new look of this thing right here? Overall, I think the look looks great. Here's some quick footage of the standard exterior that we're looking at with the new high gloss glass, the Hero Edition with the green matte paint and a bunch of other widgets and whiz bangs. Then there's the Phantom Gray and the Black Onyx Midnight Edition, which is like a whole separate package. The green is its own package, and then the black and the gray are their own package, and they look good. Now, people have been seeing the dark black and gray skins and going, holy crap, I can't even imagine how hot that is in the sun. One of the cool things with Keystone, they actually own their own temperature testing chambers. So they've done temp testing on these things, and in a chambered environment didn't see any significant difference. So they parked them. They found last year we had this whole week where it was like 100 degrees outside every single day in just plain full sun. And what they found is the skin of the black and the gray RVs. Yeah, the skin was much, much hotter, like 20, 30 degrees hotter. But the interior cabin temperature, with the air running, of course, was only 2 degrees higher. So actually not as bad as people tended to think. You saw that upgraded Kurt Helix pin box system right there. That transfers significantly less violence and stress from towing into the chassis. And it's not a drop frame. Tell me you need it when you look at this, though. Because they still have their full depth upper deck, they're able to maintain a big front pass-through here. I also like how, let's just call a spade a spade. They saw that Alliance was putting three-way switches for their awnings out here and went, that's cool. We're going to steal that. And I don't blame them. Actually, if you check out the Go Explore Wayfinder RV that's exclusive to us at Bish's, we did the same thing. We thought it was a brilliant feature that made a lot of sense. So yeah, we stole it too. That's what happens. RV R&D, rip off and duplicate. But everybody has their own little twist on things. I like these new little composite steps right here. They're lighter weight, which is nice. They also make this floor plan possible. Because they overlap so heavily with the tires and suspension, traditional steps are not possible here. But we are looking at 16-ply H-rated radials. You see the Road Armor suspension package giving you better ride and handling and less jostling of all your cabinetry and fasteners. And also anti-lock brakes with electronic anti-sway, standard, and TPMS prepped. Now, prepped means not included, obviously, but it's, oh, I almost ran right into a big old steel beam behind me, but it is plug and play easy if that's your interest. And that's what's cool about this. This is a full Cougar. This is the highest level Cougar, although the smallest of the highest level Cougars, until you jump into something like a Keystone Montana High Country on the way up to Montana. That's the handoff. That's the exchange. And you still get all that nice ride and handling in a smaller package. That's what's cool about this one. I also really support what they're doing here. I think this is the correct way to go. Instead of forcing the little griddle that sticks out at your belly so you burn your chesticles and then you can't reach the fridge, they just gave us a bigger fridge. Now we still, of course, have the gas grill quick connect down below. That's located, you see that yellow plug hanging down. That's located just in front of the handy helper sewer tube. It's a secret mouse tool that'll help us later, goof. It helps avoid the pink eye, Mickey. In the back here, we've also got a full tow package, basically, where it is a 300-pound vertical accessory hitch, but also has a 3,000-pound horizontal towing limit. Now, the ladder is, hold on, are they 250 or 300 pounds? Some brands, 250 is the industry minimum. This is a 250-pound ladder. Some brands will do a 300-pound rated ladder, but even with the extra weight that I'm carrying, I've been able to get up and down that sucker, no problem. Now, as you saw in our earlier floor plan in a flash footage, this does have a second solar panel on it. That means this RV is outfitted with the 440i solar package. The 220 base level package, single 220-watt panel, 30-amp Victron MPPT charge controller, and prepped for 2,000-watt inverter. The 440i package adds the 2,000-watt inverter and a second solar panel. Then you can get up to the 660IL, which is a three 220-watt panels, the 3,000-watt inverter, and lithium battery. So they give you a variety of options. Now, if you look at this, again, they have upgraded their fiberglass compared to last year. When Cougar first started offering paint packages, it was kind of just I don't know, let's see how it goes. Well, it ended up being very popular. But they weren't using fancy fiberglass on the sidewalls. They were using this, Phylon. And you can see how it's not as shiny. And when you paint Phylon, it looks like you painted on top of an orange peel. So all Cougars, trailers, fifth wheels, everything, they went with the like Montana level high gloss fiberglass so that when you paint this, it looks great. And if you don't paint it, it looks great. Now, one thing with this floor plan it's just kind of is that it is a two-headed sewer monster. Because of the location of the kitchen versus the bathroom, you do have a gray tank outlet back here. If I get you up front, you have your bathroom black and gray here. You'll notice that your gate pulls are all enclosed, protected in the docking center here. The gray tank in the back, its gate valve, if I'm not mistaken, is actually located back there, but it is located, the gate valve itself is inside the heated enclosed protected belly. And notice there's no flexi on pexi kind of sewer connection, or sewer, well, maybe plumbing connections going on here. Whew, I think I need to go get hydrated. My brain is getting worse than normal, which is saying something, guys. So let me know what you think about this. Now, if you're like, I don't care for that weird little table thing, okay, no problem. Get maybe like a 290 Cougar, a little bit bigger. You still want the bed slide? Look at a 316 Cougar. If you're like, a little heavy for my vehicle, a little heavy for my pocketbook, look at the 23 MLE Cougar. You're not going to be disappointed. Like this kind of concept, but can't tow a fifth wheel? Look at the 25 MLE Cougar trailer. Need it smaller and lighter, still more half-ton friendly? 22 MLS Cougar trailer. They have a lot of versions of something like this that are all really good in different ways. If I remember, I will try to leave you links in the video description to check all those out, but the first link that you'll see will bounce you to our website where you can see pricing and availability. And if you'd like to learn more about these anytime, I've tried to give you a decent idea here, but there's so much more to learn on Cougar campers. I can't get them all in one video. Contact our team locally, come visit them in person, and we are more than happy to walk you through these suckers because it's a big purchase and we want to make sure you get your second camper the first time around. So, if you're ready, we're ready. And if not, that's okay too. You can still come look. You don't have to buy every single time you visit Bish's RV. So, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.